everyone, welcome to Spiritual Insight. I'm Reverend Tiffany Weiss, Sage Woman, and today's topic I wanted to address cord cutting because this is something that has been brought to my attention as far as some students of mine and also from fellow healers in the holistic field. We have this discussion about cord cutting, and I took that to my guides because I never liked the whole process, and there's so many now, like these processes in the spiritual and holistic field of setting boundaries and protecting ourselves, and cutting cords was a technique that helps protect you from others that's not for your highest and greatest, maybe from energy vampires. Something never felt right about that, and I asked my guides about it, and specifically my master guides. And I love the conversation and dialogue because sometimes they'll answer back with a question. What specifically makes you uncomfortable about it? And obviously I was uncomfortable about it because I was asking them about it. And I said, it's the cutting. It's the cutting. We are told, we're taught, and we know that we're all connected and that the energy entwines around each other. Even those that we choose a different path from, we're always all still connected. It's just how much energy that connection gets. So by cutting cords, don't you hurt yourself as well? Doesn't it hurt? Even though you know it's best to not be around certain people or situations, but as soon as you start to apply the visualization and intention of physically cutting, whether it's with scissors or a knife or however you cut these cords of attachment with others, I feel it's dangerous that we do feel it. We may feel this at first, it feels good, but what about the phantom pain? What about you're always going to feel that type of energy around you? And can you cut energy? That's another thing, is how do you cut it? You don't. How about let's do this? Have you ever seen any science shows about the mind and how it programs itself, so to speak? And we can do this, and they show what happens when we shift our intention, when we reprogram, what that looks like, what nerves in our minds are being activated. How about instead of cord cutting, we redirect energy? Let's redirect the energy. So now we're going to redirect the intention and that energy towards a person or a situation. I know this person or this situation isn't for my highest and greatest, and what I'm going to do is just steer away from it. All right, redirect. Whether you use the analogy of driving a different path, staying away from a destination that you know is harmful for you. All right, let's redirect instead. And that doesn't mean that you just want to cut, dispose, and ignore person or situation ever again. It's a part of you. We are all connected. The best thing to do is, while that connection is still there, you use that connection, the open line, whether you're feeding it or not, to send love in that direction. Just don't receive. You can send it out with that particular energy line, but reroute the receiving. And the receiving is only going to come from those for your highest and greatest. All right. So rerouting the energy is very important. It's not hard. We can do this. We do this with intentions. We can do this with sound healing. We as we think it, we become it, right? That's what they say. Now, as we think, this is where the whole, I'm going to go into detail about this with you. The mind, is it our mind that we are referring to, because our heart, our sacred heart center, is the most powerful. That's where the God within, that's where all our answers and our true divine knowledge lie. So our minds are only meant to be for computers, for our physical body, for our physical existence. Now, if we create with our thoughts, not our physical thoughts, but with God's mind, God's mind, the universal thought, the universal mind. How do we get to that universal mind? The mind power that's often misunderstood in great literature is not man's mind, but God, Creator, the universe's mind. And that's all through the Sacred Heart Center. That's how we get there. That's where our within is located, right? Now, I know I've read before from this book, from those of you maybe who have watched some of my previous videos. It is the Emerald Tablet of Hermes, and it's about the Hermetic philosophy. I was going to, anyway, discuss this topic, and I was thumbing through the book, directed, of course. The guides were like, read this part out, read this part about matter. Because we've all told that we're matter. Well, matter is nonetheless matter to us. While we dwell on the plane of matter, although we know it to be merely an aggregation of electrons or particles of force, vibrating rapidly and gyrating around each other in the formations of atoms, the atoms in turn vibrating and gyrating, forming molecules, which later in turn form larger masses of matter. Nor does matter become less matter when we follow the inquiry still further and learn from the Hermetic teachings that the force, the force of which the electrons are but units is merely a manifestation of the mind of the all. In Hermetic teachings, the all is God, universe, creator. So, the manifestation of the mind of the all, and like all else in the universe, is purely mental in its nature. You ever heard of mind over matter? Do we know the true meaning of this now? It's not our mind over matter. It's the all, it's God, it's Creator's mind over matter, to let us never forget where we came from. And this is how enlightenment will continue on and develop. We're all on this path. All right, it's happening regardless, whether you want it or not. No. All right. Okay, so while on this plane of matter, we say on this earth plane, we must recognize its phenomenon. We may control, or command, I should say, we can command matter, as all masters of higher or lesser degree do, but do so by applying the higher forces, the higher vibrations. We commit a folly when we attempt to deny the existence of matter in all relative aspect. Do you understand that? We can't deny our physical existence. We must embrace our temple. Our physical bodies are our healing temples. We must not ever put that aside. We may deny its mastery over us of matter, right? And rightly so, but we should never attempt to ignore it in its relative aspect, not as least as long as we dwell upon this plane, as long as we dwell on this earthly plane. We must embrace and accept who we are in physical form. At the same time, let's embrace this mind over matter, the God's mind. And there's been many images, many symbols that have tried to put this message forth, whether it's the all-seeing eye, or the eye, Ra's eye, Horus eye, the all-seeing eye. It's had many names, different names. It's the eye of God, just to let you know Most people feel, oh, I'm watching you, but hey, you know, there is most definitely an energy that is much higher than us. We all can accept, and more people are agreeing to this now. All right. And do we have to name it? If you would like to, just so that it makes it easier to know what we're referring to, whether, again, it's God, Creator, the universe, the all. So however you would like to refer to that. So let's put this into perspective now, is that as we, with our heart, our balanced emotions, as we have, I want to reroute this energy, we do this through our hearts, through the minds, through God's mind, through the mind of the universe, the universal mind, and then it just all is connected into our physical mind. Our physical mind must always take the co-pilot seat. Do you understand? It must take the co-pilot seat in the whole chain of command. All right. And a lot of times where we were taught this whole intelligence and again, mind power. The true mind power is not here. And as soon as you align your Sacred Heart Center, and your heart has a mind as well, with God's mind, guess what? Then this mind becomes one. The two separate halves of the mind become one. And that's that unified, high vibrating mind. And that opens up the third eye, right there, the third eye. A balanced third eye, or an active third eye, is one where both hemispheres of the brain are working in harmony together. You want it to mirror the universal mind. You want it to have it mirror God's mind, right? And that's when complete harmony exists. And I know I've mentioned before, look at the sacred numbers of 3. All right, so there's God, God's mind, our heart, and our physical mind. They all have to be in alignment with each other. It's funny, we've heard a lot of this during the shift, alignment. How important alignment is. All right, so it's I hope that helps you. It's very powerful. Try that. Go back maybe and revisit some, if you have practiced cord cutting, revisit some of those experiences. And you may find that, yes, I am redirecting the energies. And that's why intentions are powerful. That's why intentions work, is because it helps to redirect the energy. Now, some people say it takes 6 to 8 weeks to form a new habit. Is that to form a new habit, or is that to lay a new energetic path? I'll let you choose which one you think that it is. All right. And while we're on it, we have another question from a dear friend of mine about balancing. I've done numerous videos on balancing and techniques for balancing, and I have to tell you, if you just, even in applying what we just went over and redirecting the energies, that helps you. We have been taught from a very young age about opposites, and it's this or that. Ask a child to make a choice between two things, and a lot of them will say both. And then they're maybe, no, you can't have both. That's being greedy. Are you even trying to understand their perception? All right. Oh, well, they just want to see the good. Actually, they're seeing the good and the bad. They're seeing it together in harmony. They're seeing the yin and yang symbol. They're not seeing opposites separated from each other. They're seeing the whole thing. That's why they say both, the whole complete package. So we're being taught at a young age to separate in opposites. Then we go to art class where we can color, and we can combine 2 colors to make 1. So we teach them separation, then we teach them, oh, you do this, then we teach them connectedness again, and to make 1. And no wonder kids are so confused. are we even understanding what we're teaching? If we're not, we shouldn't teach it. Don't do it just out of habit. Don't do it out of, oh, well, tradition. This is how I was taught, and I'm fine. Are you? Are you really fine? Let's reevaluate that. We're all doing the best we can. But I sure, definitely never wanted my kids to follow the same footsteps as me. I wanted them to create their own paths. I wanted them to create, their own journeys. And we know that's going to happen. Our children do leave home. They don't have to mimic me or my husband. I wanted them to have their own individuality. And we do that when we help them to embrace the oneness and to understand that when you want to teach opposites, that it's part of the one, that it's part of the whole, and that both are equally important. So now, how to stay balanced is very good. It's different for everyone. You could use visual techniques. I like to visualize. You could use the scales of justice, or if you want to. And all right, am I off balance here? Am I off balance in the good? Am I off balance in the bad? And just visualizing yourself coming to balance that way. All right. You can stand in the sun and ask for the sun. You put your arms out. And this actually creates, like the Egyptian Ankh, so to speak, an energy transformer. The Ankh is pretty much like an energy transformer. We are energy transformers. When you put your hands out, I have to stretch. You put your arms out and your hands up, and then guess what? In the orb, the energy orb that follows, looks just and goes down, looks just like the Ankh, energetically. All right. Ask to balance that way. Go out in the sunlight, go out in the moonlight, go whatever your preference is a great way to balance. Most people like to just put their feet right on the ground. Both feet. Feel the balance. And grounding, you're balancing at the same time. So grounding or earthing is very important. I like to use the nature is a great teacher. Nature is a great teacher for balancing and earthing and just remembering who we are and the whole oneness, the whole one picture. Yes, we are separate, unique, individual little pieces of the puzzle, but together we make this beautiful picture, and we must never forget that. Another analogy, I always like the guides bring this to me, so I'm just going to repeat it. Because I can say these words, and sometimes if we put it in a little analogy, it might help people. You can say the same type of intention or thought process, and someone else can come along and say it a little differently, and you may get one way over the other. It's okay. So I like to repeat it several times and in several different ways. Another analogy that was brought to me was a plane. I want you to think of a plane. An airplane. It's wings, 2 engines. All right. On one side's a good engine, the other side's a bad engine. Don't they both need to be working together and in balance to keep that plane in air and balanced? Right? So you have engine failure or problems in one, it's going to cause the other. It's going to just disrupt the whole oneness and create a tilting and off balance. And people always refer to energetically, I'm crashing. You got unbalanced and you crashed. Some of you blow up too. Oh, I crashed and burned. Just boom. All right. Let's get to the point to where you, as soon as you start to feel yourself go off balance, you look at that little, I don't know all the terms for airplanes and that whole thing, but the little meter there of if you're balanced or not. Try to picture that. Okay, I'm balanced. I am truly balanced. How many of you have, when something's going really good, you suddenly start to get uncomfortable? Okay, things are going too good. Something's wrong. Why? Why is it wrong if something's going too good? Oh, because experience has shown me that there's always something that's going to go wrong, and I would be a fool to think that life is always good or perfect. Well, life's not perfect. We're on that path to final perfection. But the thing is that turbulence is part of our experience. And what are we going to do as soon as we start to feel a little bit of turbulence? You're going to make those adjustments immediately to keep yourself balanced? Or are you just going to allow yourself to crash? As you become very sensitive and know thyself and know how you operate, it can help you to stay balanced. It really can. And enjoy your flight. Enjoy that inner flight. Even look at the birds. Are perfect examples. If they had any human aspect whatsoever of thought process, or oh, I'm so fearful, I don't know if I can fly to that height, or a little sparrow going, a crow is being mean to me and told me this and now I can't fly. No, I'm so glad they don't have humanistic traits. They know how important it is to be connected to the one, to the all, and that keeps everything in balance for them. Interestingly enough, too, when birds lose feathers, they always lose 2 at a time. Not simultaneously. It can happen within a 24-48 hour period. But as they lose a feather from the left side, they're going to lose a feather from the right side, so that they're always in balance. They feel this, they know this, their body responds. So this is what we want to do, is get to that point to where we feel just the slightest difference, the slightest calibration that's going to throw us off, and we make the adjustments immediately. And sometimes that is adding or removing something from our situation to make it balanced. All right. So I hope that has helped you with your balancing act and balancing techniques. And I will make a video tomorrow too with the, and I say holy days because there's many celebrations at this time of the year. They're all holy. They're all divine. They're all important. Not one is better than the other one. And we all are pretty much celebrating and giving praise to this same Creator. The same harm none Creator. That same energy. All right. So the holy day is coming up, and you have to be around your family. You don't have to, but I'm just saying some people are uncomfortable with being around the whole family concept for whatever reason. Use this as an opportunity to heal. Don't put yourself in it, and don't think that you would. Put yourself in danger's way. If it's absolutely harmful, mind, body, and soul, to be around anyone, including your family, don't do it. Definitely don't do it just because of a special day. All right? But even if it makes you feel uncomfortable being around your family, I hope that you know why that makes you feel uncomfortable, and let's further explore that. And that it's okay. We don't have to all agree on certain situations or just on our belief system as even. So helping you to stay balanced will help you even to stay balanced during these family times, because you know there's going to be some turbulence. Not everything goes well. It has a good combination of good and bad. And we have to remember that. Let's stay balanced. All right? And feel when we're starting to go off balance. So when the people now that, oh, things are going really good, I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying this, and I'm just going to keep flying it in this balanced state. And yes, I know I'm going to hit turbulence because that's part of this physical earth plane. All right, it's part of the whole, actually, to experience both. And I'm just going to make the right calibrations to the right degree to keep myself balanced. It takes practice, and you can do it. And especially when you catch in yourself feeling off balance and feeling, oh, okay, that's what this feels like. All right. So if I'm starting to feel too much in the dark, too negative, I know I need to apply some good or apply some light to that and balance out. Same time, if I feel too much in the light and I'm starting to get blinded by the light, then I need to apply some of the darkness to it. Balance. We do it all the time without even thinking about it. You put sunglasses on when you go outside. What? That's to shade your eyes, to protect your eyes from the sun. To shade. They're dark lenses, aren't they? Dark and light working together. So unity is all around us. It's who we are. There's beautiful signs of oneness from nature. And then even the things that we do on a daily basis that we're not really paying attention to. And that's the whole thing, is paying attention. We have so many distractions. All right. We really do. And I can go on and list all the distractions. You can too. List all the distractions. But are they keeping you away from knowing who you are within? Do you love yourself? Do you like yourself? Do you know what's going to make you upset? Do you know what's going to make you happy? Because it all starts from within. Nothing outside of us is going to help or fix us. We have to do that first within us. And as we create and navigate through our own feelings and turbulences within us and come out balanced, everything outside of us follows suit. It really does. This is how we bring world peace. Take care of you, and everybody does that, and boom, 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 boom. And I'm not saying take care of yourself just to be in a selfish manner. No. But by being balanced, you also are learning to give and to receive at the same time. It's all part of the same thing. What we were taught as opposites is actually, again, part of the whole. And both are equally important. All right. So I will make another video tomorrow before Thanksgiving. It's gonna be a full moon. No, I'm sorry. It is going to be well, I'm on the wrong week. Oh, my calendar. Yes, actually it is. I knew it was. It's, a full moon is going to be the day before Thanksgiving. But this whole week we have, you know, that full moon energy. So we have a full moon, which is very important. Why I wanted you to practice now this balancing before you get around family, before you get around others. And my goodness, if those that participate in any of these Black Friday sales and they want to be around all these people, power to you. I am highly empathic. I will not be around people like that. I cannot deal with the crowds on a normal basis, much less in a frenzy like that. No, nothing, no merchandise is worth it. It's not. That's not something that I've enjoyed. I've never enjoyed shopping outside of the house. I'll shop online. Cyber Monday. Wait for Cyber Monday. Wait for the sales or whatever. Click, done. Ha! You know, but if you want to go out and you enjoy that, please make sure you pamper yourself. Make sure that you balance yourself afterwards. Make sure that you're paying attention to how you're feeling. And most people do prepare for that. You know, then their shopping kit. Okay, I've got you know, I've got some water, I've got some snacks, I've got something, maybe in case you get a headache, some type of relief. I hope now that they're including essential oils with you to try to keep you calm. Anything that you need to do, your survival pack. And that's pretty much what a woman's purse, or even man that carries, what they call man purse now. You know, something around. I forget what. Oh, messenger bags. Thank you. Yeah, you know, the messenger bags for men, or whatever they call them. I hope you know, there's survival kits that we actually pack in these things. Or I like to call my purse a shaman's bag, because I make sure I have things in case I need them. Whether it's essential oils, whether it's just, you never know what's gonna happen, and I like to be prepared when I'm out in public. Because when you're dealing with a lot of energies, it's a lot of turbulence, especially for, like I said, for those that are sensitive and empathic. So if you know yourself, it helps you to understand, this is me, this isn't me, everything that's not me, let's get rid of it. Okay? Let's just push it aside. Let's not give it energy, any more energy. All right. So thank you so very much. I will do another video, and I hope that you have a beautiful, wonderful Thanksgiving. If you celebrate Thanksgiving, or whatever you celebrate, please do so with peace, love, and light. And may the obstacles to your flight be few, and the blessings along your journey be many.